welcome back to our channel, Florida2Alaska. We apologize a little bit that the videos have been kind of sporadically uploaded. A lot of it's based off of the cell reception or Wi-Fi service that we have on our drive and at our hotels. So hopefully if we keep making videos in the future, we'll be able to make them a little bit more consistently released. But we appreciate everybody's patience as we get these videos out when we can. Also, we may have some parts of this video, especially towards the end, where it's really just footage and scenery playing with some music, because we don't have a ton to say today, since not too much has happened in the past couple of days. We've mostly just been driving, but the drive has definitely gotten a lot more beautiful. The Alaska Highway has just been gorgeous, and you guys will see that in some of the videos that we're able to share in this video today. Some things that we want to talk about, just kind of our drive, the places we've stayed, our experience on the road so far, some of the wildlife that we've seen, which we luckily have been able to get some video of. It's been kind of crazy and really awesome. And then a little bit we'll talk how it's been traveling with Akira as well. I don't know if she's popped up right now or if she will during this video, but we'll just kind of touch on our experience traveling with the dog. And that's really it.
Yeah.
Those are the topics we want to cover during this video. Yeah, so first thing, our drive to Grant Prairie went well. It's starting to, like we said, get a lot more beautiful. Leaving Grant Prairie, we stopped at Dawson Creek, which is the start of the Alaska Highway. We took some pictures there, and that was really
cool.
neat. Yeah.
Just see how long it's been there. There's a little plaque. I think I have a picture of it.
Yeah.
You can attach.
Mm-hmm. And it's got a little sign that says start of the Alaska Highway, and it's kind of a neat kickoff to the stretch of road that is the Alaska Highway. That's just been really pretty. We have a lot of really good video, and it's really scratching the surface, and the video doesn't even do it justice.
Even what I'm looking at right now is just absurd.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and on that note, there's actually been not a lot of wildlife, but a good amount. We've got some videos. We've seen at least a little bit of everything, I think, at this point. Yes, because we have seen a moose, which we got on video. We saw a black bear, and Brandon says 2 cubs. I only saw one of the cubs, but that was pretty neat. We didn't get a video of that because that
happened really quick.
Yeah, that one happened really quick. We saw a reindeer that's kind of funky looking. Well, we got a video of that one too.
I think it's a reindeer.
Yeah, we think it's a reindeer. It's very interesting. You'll see. We saw a ram that we didn't, or maybe it was a mountain goat. It had horns.
I don't know. It was cool.
We're not sure, but it was cool.
Didn't get a video.
Didn't get a video of that one because that one was kind of far off, and another quick one. We've seen the most bison.
Yeah, lots of bison. Big ones, small ones, by themselves, in packs. It's been really cool. Lots of bison, for sure.
So we've definitely got some pictures and videos of that. Is that it? Is there anything else we've seen?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it on the animals.
Yeah, I think that's kind of it for wildlife.
The roads, well, so Grant Prairie, pretty much right after the Grant Prairie, you hit Dawson Creek, and then you get on the Alaskan Highway. And it's not very long after that it just starts becoming otherworldly. We're going through the northern Rockies. So, I mean, I'm only used to the Appalachians, so, the Smoky Mountains, the Blue Ridge Mountains. Let me tell you what, these are a lot bigger. And there's a lot more of them. And we've been driving for almost 18 hours now.
Yeah.
Just through the Northern Rockies, and we are still in the Northern Rockies.
Yeah, it has been consistently gorgeous and consistently very mountainous. I mean, we're in the Rockies for sure.
Yeah, it's super beautiful. There's the lakes that are throughout the Yukon and British Columbia are just so blue.
Yeah.
I was thinking back to kindergarten, and you draw the lake, the water blue, and then you go to the ocean as a Floridian, and you're like, well, that's not that blue. It's more green. But like this is like blue, and it's just really cool.
The sky too. That's like a good point. It's the color that you would pick as a kindergartner to color the sky. That's the color of the sky here. It's that blue.
Yeah. Well, now that all the clouds are gone.
Yeah. Now that it's cleared up a little bit.
But yeah, it's super beautiful. The mountains. We tried taking videos and taking pictures and that. I hope it's cool, but I was watching them at the hotel, and it really doesn't do it any justice.
Yeah.
This has been quite the drive. Granted, this is like us going on 2 weeks of driving, so it really is starting to get like pretty monotonous, being all the way coming from Florida. But if you have the opportunity to drive this Alaskan highway sometime in your life, you gotta do it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Once we're done with it, we'll probably make a video on like our tips and tricks for it that we've run into, and like places to stay, recommendations. But it has been so amazing scenically. Wildlife, the trees, the mountains, the lakes. There's like a point at which you're literally driving on a windy road. To your right is a giant mountain, and to your left is a crystal blue lake.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I've never experienced anything in my life like this. So.
Yeah, agree. It's definitely been really beautiful. Actually, before we got on the Alaska Highway, though, when we were still in Grand Prairie, we went to a little brewery there. Do you remember what it was called? I'll look up what it was called, and I'll put it as a little like tag in this frame. But that was kind of fun. It was nice to do something other than drive. Like, it was nice to walk to the brewery and sit outside, have a beer.
We'll get more into why we've had to do this, but we've really just been kind of like driving and then staying in our hotel room, then driving, staying in our hotel room.
Well, we've mentioned that like Canada didn't really give us a lot of time to get through.
Right, but I just mean part of it is having the dog, but we'll get more into that.
That's true, but this brewery had outside seating, which was nice. So we sat outside, had a beer, and it was very lovely until we got caught in the rain. We did not check the weather before we went.
We had just assumed that this just fog that had been perpetually over us in Canada was just kind of an existing fog. And I guess we just...
That was not correct.
Yeah, it wasn't correct. And while we were at the brewery, was about a mile
away.
Mile, maybe a little bit more away from the hotel. And we had walked there with Akira. And it started pouring.
Yeah, so we got caught in some pretty heavy rains on the way back to the hotel.
So yeah, we walked about a mile or so back to the hotel, pouring rain. That was fun. We probably looked like the lost Americans, but it was fun. We had a big laugh about it.
It was different than being in the car, and that was kind of nice. So
on a weird note, it was actually kind of nice.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. Other things, just like stops along the way. We did have a COVID check at Watson Lake. They didn't do a test or anything, but there was just kind of a registration form where you gave your name, your email, I think the point of entry, which was Watson Lake for the Yukon, and then your exit point for the Yukon, which for us will be Beaver Creek since we're driving straight through to Alaska. And they gave us 24 hours to get through the Yukon.
I think I had heard, shout out again to Big Sky Blessing, Big Sky Blessing. He, I think, mentioned that there was a check-in there and that they gave you 24 hours. But, that video was created so long ago, I didn't know if that was still a thing, and it wasn't emphasized enough, I think, by Canada
themselves. Yeah, it's definitely not emphasized on, the
once
Canada
you get to Watson Lake,
border website.
You only have 24 hours to get across the border.
Yeah, to get to Alaska.
Which, for us, is fine. We ended up having a plan. We're staying in Haines Junction, which is kind of perfectly gave us most of our drive today, and then we'll have 3 more hours in the morning, and we'll be able to leave within 24 hours. But like if someone had planned to stay in Watson Lake and then again, I don't know, in Haynes Junction or I don't
to
know,
break up the drive a little bit.
to break up the drive, then it won't
you'd have
work.
to like rearrange your plans because they give you 24 hours to get through the Yukon, which sounds like a lot, but the Yukon is very, very big, and it really isn't a ton of time. Like Brandon said, thank goodness it worked for our travel schedule anyways because of the pace that we're trying to get through, but it's definitely something that isn't really emphasized anywhere in Canada's like border website, or in any of the information that you can find online when you're looking to like try and get through. So definitely emphasize, again, 24 hours to get through the Yukon, so plan accordingly.
So it wasn't really a big deal for us because we're trying to get through, but if you were like trying to take a little bit more time, no, it's not gonna work. They also like they've been very strict in the Yukon about like literally not leaving the highway.
Yeah,
except
they gave
for
us
like gas,
like a whole sheet of information that's like, stay on the Alaska highway, you can only stop for food, gas, or essentials. You still have to wear a mask in the Yukon. So it's definitely still pretty strict here. Doesn't really affect us, like we've said, because we're trying to get through anyways, but something to consider if you were planning to take it slower here, that's not an option, at least right now.
I had watched a few videos and heard of some people going into Whitehorse, which is like, I guess the capital of Yukon. I don't know, but it's a big city. That's definitely not allowed for us Americans just transiting.
It specifically says on this information sheet that they gave us to not go into Whitehorse. So don't
we're not
plan that.
I'm not telling you to or to not, but it's definitely not allowed.
Yeah.
I think that kind of brings us to right here. So we just wanted to touch on one extra topic today, and that's what driving to Canada has been like with Akira. So because we've had her, you know, all the hotels have a policy that's like, you know, you gotta, if you're gonna leave your pet in the hotel room, you gotta crate it.
All the hotels we're staying at are pet friendly, but they do have rules, like they have to be crated in the room.
Yeah, stuff like that. And you can't leave them unattended, just roaming around in the room, stuff like that. Can't bring them to you can't bring them to the restaurants in the hotels or certain areas in the hotels, to the bars, which has created this kind of problem because we don't want to take her crate out every single night, set it up in the room, then take it down in the morning, bring it to the truck. So really, we've just kind of been, you know, kind of confined to the hotel room, not really been able to go out and do too much.
And since there's two of us, we can kind of do things in shifts. Like, I'll stay in the room with Akira while Brandon goes and orders dinner from the restaurant, or Brandon will stay in the room and I'll go grab drinks from the bar and bring them back. But I can definitely see where it would be more difficult if it was a single person traveling with a dog. And if you were doing it like us, like not staying in a hotel for several nights, because at that point you could probably bring the crate up, but it's really just not worth it for us since we're only staying in each hotel for a night.
Yeah, so I mean, we probably could have done a lot more, especially before we hit the Alaskan Highway. Just in general, like maybe experience just a little bit more of Canada. But, you know, that being said, like, you know, it's worked out for us because we're trying to get through anyways. But if you're trying to experience more, just take that into account. If you have a pet with you along the way. On the flip side, it's also given us some pretty fun experiences. Like in Saskatoon, we took her on a long walk around the river, and that was pretty cool. So yeah, just some
That's pros and cons of traveling with a pet. If you've traveled with a dog before, then you probably have taken into account that kind of thing, but it's just something to consider that there are going to be some restrictions traveling with a dog that you wouldn't have if you didn't have a dog with you. So something to keep in mind, something that we've kind of noticed is we've seen restaurants where we're like, oh, we can't go there because we have Akira. But it's still been fun for us. We're having a good time so far. And like we've really emphasized, the Alaskan Highway has been beautiful. So we will definitely put a lot of videos and pictures in this video.
Yeah, for sure. It's been amazing. British Columbia and the Yukon have been just mind-blowingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely, I know I said this already, but I recommend trying to drive the Alaskan Highway in your lifetime, if you can. But we had this opportunity, and we want to be able to share it with you guys.
Yeah.
So I hope you like the videos. I know it won't capture everything, but
We won't do it justice, but we'll try.
Yeah, we'll try to give you a little bit of a taste.
Yeah. And just thanks again to everybody who's been watching, and we'll